A sweet lady is here. Mama V, how are you?
Am I sweet?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey.
Good morning, y'all.
London.
Well, some major things happening on our show today is Ask Information Ministry Day. That's our hashtag. We've got the Information Minister, Kojo Ponkroma, joining us right after sport this morning at 7:20. It is our conversation. So if you've got anything you want to ask Kojo Ponkroma, the Information Minister, about all the things happening in our country, it could be coronavirus, it could be the Airbus, anything really on your mind. It could be the city.
Or the Eurobond.
Exactly.
Oversubscribed.
Just hashtag Ask Info Ministry. And remember to send it to us, our social media platforms, JoyNews, and then we can get interactive right here on the show this morning. It will be exciting. And then it's a Thursday, so we've got a Healthy Thursday conversation. And as your proud cervical cancer ambassador, we have a cervical cancer conversation. But today I'm going to the Rich Hospital because they have some free screening ongoing at the Rich Hospital. It's been for a couple of days now. I'll be there live to check out how it's going, try and have some interaction. Hopefully we can encourage you to come by and take advantage.
And you say every person, man, woman, can go and screen.
No. Cervical cancer is only women. But we are saying that as men, you should be also mindful of other diseases. For instance, there's penile cancer. And I realized 2 days ago, just in our newsroom, yes, Google it if you're watching right now.
Penile.
Yeah, penile cancer. Apparently I not heard about that. Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, before we do all of those, we have to do the newspaper.
Yeah, well, Mommy doesn't like to go to where, you know, the anancumiums.
What do you want? I know it's a penile cancer, I said. So
penile got to do with the penis.
Well, the last time I checked, I have a degree in communication studies, not like a medical degree.
Oh, sense.
So you can have a healthy, you know, penile conversation some other time with a doctor. Let's do the newspapers.
I have a friend in the UK.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Benjamin Kwejo to 4 menu. Good morning to you and the rest of your family.
Roland is wishing me one, no, then you don't want him to wish me.
Benjamin Kwejo to 4 menu, great friend of mine in the UK. He's an under G man. Benjamin Kwejo to 4 menu. You know, originally grew up in Osu, close to the stadium, Osu stand. But now he's a British man, so Charlie, Benjamin to 4 menu.
All right. So now that you're done, this is the newspapers. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. No. The Daily Graphic newspaper front page, Duffuor, Asiama, and Mwabing, others hauled before courts. There are pictures on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. So there's Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, a former finance minister, also a former governor of the Bank of Ghana. Mr. Prince Kofi Mwabing, founder of defunct UT Bank. Also on the front page is a picture of Dr. Johnson Asiama, a former second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. GES revises promotion process. Teacher unions hail move. Also, brain blood vessel malfunction cases rise. Parliamentarians eulogize Dr. J.B. Dankwa. Statistical Service sets June 28 for census. Remember, there was some, well, is it speculations? Well, not exactly, but the information was that it had been cancelled because they didn't have enough money, you know, things like that. But apparently there's something more substantive, and it's in the Daily Graphic newspaper today. We'll see if we can, you know, bring a bit of details to you. Let's look at what's in the center spread of the paper. Bono Chiefs call on presidents. Customs to pilot Unipass at Takrady ports. Also, Greater Accra Tema General Hospitals designated coronavirus management centers. Now, when we had this conversation on Monday, there was a very important message that was passed on to us by the head of disease surveillance at the Ghana Health Service. The fact that we know the centers doesn't mean you can just wake up and just go and say you're testing for coronavirus. That's not how it works. So please don't wake up and go to Tema General Hospital or Kolibute Teaching Hospital and say, you know, my son just traveled and came back, so I'm here to test for coronavirus. It doesn't work like that. Just follow the symptoms and then alert the appropriate, you can go to any health facility. The back page of the paper now, so that's how the center spread of the Daily Graphic looks. But the back page, Olympics Faisal in 7 goals thriller. Lagos City's Pip Sharks 1-0. Well, finally, they have a win. Kotoko hold Wafa at Sogakope. So was it a win for Kotoko? Roland.
Pip, yes.
Was it a win for Kotoko?
Yes.
It wasn't. If they hold
it's a draw.
It's a draw.
I didn't
so
monitor.
The headline yesterday in the Times. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, to draw my attention to. Yeah.
Wasn't totally off.
Yeah, they said Wafa would.
If Wafa was that easy.
No, the headline rather said
Wafa ready.
Yeah, Wafa rather would win against us because.
But if it's a hold, it's still good for them. Kotoko.
Yeah, in a way, because Kotoko is a yeah. But Wafa is they're like a graduated academy, kind of. Yeah.
We don't care. It's a draw. Okay, let's do a bit of this story.
Draw is a draw.
Headline on page 16. It says the state has charged a former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, and 7 others with 68 counts for the roles they allegedly played in the collapse of Unibank. The 7 are Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, the second, a son of Dr. Duffuor, who was the chief executive officer of Unibank, Dr. Johnson Pandit Asiama, former second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Eko Nyako Dadsi Dennis, the chief operating officer of the bank, Elsie Dansua, the executive head of corporate banking. There's also Jeffrey Amon, a senior relationship manager, Kwejo Poku Okun, the financial control manager, and Benjamin Ofori, the executive head of credit risk at the bank. So we may have heard these 3 those on the front page of the Daily Graphic, but there are a lot more people within the bank, as it was then, Unibank, who have also been, included in this whole court process, and also facing charges over the issue is the entity Holder Holdings Limited, the majority shareholder of Unibank, which was said to be controlled by Dr. Duffuor. The AG has accused Dr. Duffuor, who was a shareholder of Unibank, of contributing to the collapse of the bank by dishonestly receiving some 663.28 million Ghana cedis from the bank. Dr. Asiama has also been named as an accused person on the charge sheet signed by the Director of Public Prosecutions and filed at the Accra High Court. It is a case that the AG that even though Unibank was in financial distress, Dr. Asiama allegedly used his position as the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana to approve the transfer of some 300 million Ghana cedis, which was an unsecured credit facility from Unibank to the Universal Merchant Bank. Dr. Duffuor, who is also a former governor of the Bank of Ghana, has been charged with dishonestly receiving and money laundering, while Dr. Asiama has been charged with willfully causing financial loss to the state in contravention of the Bank of Ghana Act. So they give details of that, and then they go on to tell us about Ms. Amwabeng and the others. So this is quite a detailed report by Emmanuel Ibo-Hobson in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Just on the same page is a story that the Ghana Statistical Service has set Sunday, June 28, for the commencement of the 2020 Population and Housing Census. It has also initiated the process of recruiting field personnel and employing the services of 70,000 enumerators in districts across the country in the lead up to the census. So something more definite about the 2020 census in the paper today. Plenty more stories, but let's move on and let's do the Daily Statesman newspaper. You gave me the guide? Yeah,
I gave you the guide. But
let me do the guide. Newspaper front page. Duffuor Asiama others charged for stealing money laundering. This is on the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper. President urges Ghanaians to take interest in national security. Also, group demands new flag bearer for NDC as JDM goes into hiding over Airbus bribery scandal. Well, that's how the Daily Statesman chooses to angle the story that's been trending for some days now. Details of that on page 2 in the paper you can read on. Let's do the Business Finder. Front page of the Business Finder, investors reaffirm confidence in Ghana's economy. Also, workers' plight improving according to the Trades Union Congress, but ICU disagrees.
Well,
it gets political everywhere, trust me. Get competitive to maximize after benefits. It's also another headline. They've got the market summary there, consumer price inflation, interest rate, Ghana Stock Exchange, the currencies, the US dollar now, 5.5267. The pound, 6.09. Oh, the euro rather, the pound is 7.2. So the euro stronger than the one, which is, that's the Chinese currency, right? That's not even up to 1 cedi. It's less than a cedi. All right, you can catch up with all the market summary, the Business Final newspaper. Roland, continue.
All right, so let's straight away give you the Ghanaian Times has on the front page. Fallout of banking crisis, Duffuor, SBOG, Deputy Governor, 6 others charged. I have attached pictures of Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, former Finance Minister, Dr. Johnson Asiama, former 2nd Deputy Governor, Bank of Ghana. Yeah, that's the title, the headlines to those pictures there. And we also do have they being charged with a fraudulent breach of trust, money laundering, among others. All the story you'll get rightfully, comprehensively on page 18 of the Ghanaian Times. Moving on, let's compile new voters register now. Almost like an order. All right, stories on page 18 of the paper. But down there we have, after a successful rollout of free SHS, government to prioritize secondary education, and this is attributed to the president. And so giving that assurance, don't worry, Mamunsro, it's runim. No fears. Vovomelio. Okay, Kofi Amuabeng, 5 others slapped with 42 new charges. We do have, though, the back page of the Times, and full of sports, of course. It talks about Legon Cities, FC taming Sharks, Wafa Kotoko splitting points, and then they give you a rundown of what the table is. So leading the Ghana Premier League table is Chelsea. We're talking about Brekum Chelsea. They're leading with some 17 points, followed closely by Adriana Midiema with some 16 points. My team, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, is 4th with 14 points, followed by Ash Gold Dreams, Wafa, and Bichim with 13 points. Let me see where it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So House of Folk, Accra House of Folk.
Who cares? Never say die.
They are 11th with 10 points.
So
the same as Allies.
I know we've just done 7 weeks.
Same as Allies, Liberty, and
are you even allowed to do detailed sports?
And then
are you
Oli Bagbo, Oli Rosalie, Oli Conson. Well, let me go on. Let me do hey, Accra's of Oak. Oh, good Jesus. Jesus Christ of Bethlehem. Now, we do have a daily guide. Let's straight away go to the daily guide. Daily guide has on the front page, serious story. As we do know, in JoyNews, we brought it to you comprehensively, those details, but also captured on the front page of the daily guide. Duffuor Asiama charged with 5.7 billion Ghana cedi fraud. Down there, investors chase Ghana's $3 billion Euro bond. And we do have one of the main men who was part of that great roadshow and detail there. So we have Kojo Nkrumah, the information minister, in Ask Information Ministry in a question you want. So it is an interaction session with Kojo Nkrumah. We'll talk a little bit about government policy, some of the difficulties we seem to be reporting, and then also some of the good things also being reported by government. Then we'll see how we can take in more of your questions. So just an interactive one. Make sure you join us, both here in the studio, on air, and also on social media. Backbeing assures Nana, and then we do have fresh charges for Amuabeng. Meanwhile, in the Daily Dispatch, which is the last paper I'll be looking at, we do have all these stories. Who is winning? And they continue look at the constituencies in the upcoming primaries. It will be 27th of April 2020 right here on JoyNews, where we will tell you for the a little over 160 constituencies, mainly constituencies where they have MPs and also in their strongholds. That's for the MPP. The primaries they are going to convene. Battles, Ifriye, Bewa, or Agbote for Ablekuma North seat. Attach our pictures of Miss Sheila Patel's and then Miss Ikue Friye. Front page. Other stories occupying front page: Daily Dispatch, Komla Dumo book launch and fundraising dinner. Why I cared for Kutui Champon's daughter, although he jailed me. And this one is a killer or an excerpt of the 2017 published autobiography of Sambo Kujetu, the distinguished lawyer and politician. Yeah. NDCO on why it did not sign the code of conduct or the code on vigilantism and full judgment of Airbus bribery case right here. Mama V, what news do you have for us apart from?
Let's do myjoyonline.com and then we will do the BBC before we link up with Bennett. What do you want me to talk about?
No, usually sometimes you get some nice stories, you know. Today.
Let's do my joy.
Okay, let's do myjoyonline.com quickly.
Minority accuses government of bloating cost of $360 million for local dam. Details there on myjoyonline.com. Suspected fake lawyer nabbed. Yeah, now that's the story that I actually, the guy, suspected fake lawyer nabbed.
He looked like a lawyer, so I'm wondering how come.
He went to get people, he was going to get bail for them. He actually took their money. Actually, but some people are bold though. To fake, you're not a doctor, you say you're a doctor. Like you're not a lawyer, you say you're a lawyer and you go to court to meet a judge. Hey, Charlie. CIMG Marketing Man of the Year, I propose President Akufo-Addo. Well, you might want to check out the full story to see who is proposing the president. Also, Education Minister denies saying diploma holding teachers attended college with weak grades. Did he say or did he not say? Trump cleared in impeachment trial. That's well, one of the biggest stories coming out of the U.S. The impeachment. But we all knew that it was going to be like this, right? So no surprises right there. I mean, yeah. Also, Mahama hold meeting with Nagrat leadership. That's former President John Dramani Mahama. But if you look at the Daily Statement, they say he's in hiding because of the Airbus issue. Court adjourns ex-Beige boss trial. Also details there. That's Michael Yeneku's case. We've started retrieving missing excavators. Operation Vanguard Task Force member. Now, there's a whole thing. There's a whole issue. Well, but this is one of our biggest stories that's also making international headlines. Kolibu records 2 suspected coronavirus cases. If you check,
has it gone international?
Yes, it has. It's actually on the BBC, page. Let's see how they reported it. It says health officials in Ghana are investigating 2 suspected cases of coronavirus in the capital, Accra. The suspected cases involve 2 men, a Chinese national and an Argentine national who lived together but traveled on different dates from China. They reported themselves to the emergency unit of Kolibu Teaching Hospital on Wednesday after being turned away from an unnamed private-owned clinic. They complained of muscle pains, flu symptoms. Well, officials say the Argentinian man arrived in Accra from China's Shanghai city last month, while the Chinese national arrived in the country around September 2019. Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association in Accra, Dr. William Ba, said both patients have been quarantined as their blood samples are being analyzed. They've all developed some symptoms that fits the case definition, but it doesn't mean they have, though. That's Dr. Ba, a quote from him. Health officials say further samples will be taken on Thursday, which is today, for testing at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. So that's the latest in terms of the coronavirus and how We've recorded 2 suspected cases, not confirmed, suspected, and they're being kept at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Samples taken to the Negotiation Memorial Institute for testing. We will certainly keep you updated.